Hello, I'm Frank McSheen with Square Peg Consulting at the Whiteboard. I'm a supply chain cash guide, and these are the components of the business-to-business supply chain as I see it. And there are opportunities to generate more cash in every part of this process. Let me show you what I mean. Hello. In our session today, as we move from a narrow cost reduction focus to a broader cash generation focus, we're going to hit on a subject involving people and teams. I call it tough conversations. So this is all about performance and fit in the organization to see how somebody's doing and are they going to be able to stay with us and perform in our organization. So performance is very specifically about numbers and results compared to expectations. So what have we expected from them and how are they doing compared to that? Fit involves how they fit the role that we have them performing, how they fit the culture that we're trying to cultivate, and where in the organization are they and do they fit in that spot in the organization. So if you're looking at, first of all, you got to have a sense of urgency about this part of the management leadership effort around tough conversations. Waiting and delaying them because they're tough conversations never gets any better, never gets any easier. It always just gets worse over time. So the sooner you can address this, the better off you're going to be. So when we have somebody who is low on performance and low on fit, that's a pretty easy judgment call. And we should know this within their 90-day orientation period. So we don't want to go past that period without having made this assessment. Are they going to be able to perform the work? Are they a good fit for our organization in the role, in the culture, in our team as a whole? And if not, time to let them go right up front. And you just want to have a direct conversation with them about what you've seen, what they need to work on, what the potential for them is going somewhere else. Don't make a big deal out of it and just let them go. If we've got somebody who is performing well and is a good fit, this is great, right? This is what we want. And so we need to have conversations with them, not tough conversations so much, but conversations where we recognize their performance and their fit and their potential, and that we have a plan for them so that they understand that there's a reason to get engaged, a reason to stick around, a reason to perform going forward. A tougher one is when you've got a high level of fit but poor performance. And so this one is a tougher conversation. So now we've got to judge, is the performance correctable in a reasonable period of time in the current role? And if so, let's work on that. If not, and by the way, we got to have this direct conversation with them about it so they understand where they stand, where they are in their performance level. Is there another role that they would fit better and still be productive in the culture and in the organization? If so, that's a positive thing, and so you need to take action on that, again, sooner than later. If they're not a good fit in the role and they're not a good fit in the culture, they probably have to go, and they're not performing well. They have to go, because culture, as we're learning, is such an important part of our team performance and our company performance. It's an enabler for performance. If they don't fit in there and they're not contributing to the culture, then it's time for them to go. So again, tough conversation, do it sooner than later, make it simple, let them go. The hardest one of all is when you've got a top performer or a high performer who isn't a good fit. Sometimes these are rainmakers in the company, but they are a toxic personality and they're hard on everybody else. And even I've seen it where they're top salespeople, but they're abusive to their support staff, our internal people, our customer service people, people in the warehouse, people in the operations. They abuse them verbally, and even though they're performing. But the companies don't want to get rid of them because they're high performers. It's a tough one to have. And again, sooner than later is better. But if they don't fit the role or the culture in particular, and they're a toxic performer, even though they're a really good performer, they got to go. And that's the toughest conversation for you to have with them. And just be straightforward. Good performance, but you don't fit in the organization. Here's the things we've observed that cause that not to fit, and out they go. Because you cannot sacrifice your culture for this higher performance. They can be replaced. It'll take some work. It'll take some time on your part, a little bit of effort, a little bit of risk on your part, but they can be replaced, and you can find a better performer who also is a better fit. And we move people into this. This is where we want to move people to, right? Is this box up here. This is coaching here. This is better selection of people here, moving them into this where they can perform well and fit.